Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the 6th episode of the Choking Hazard podcast with my co-hosts Sugar-Free Nos and RDT33. The topics tonight, we're going to be talking about GTA racing, why people race on GTA rather than other games, just generally what we like about it, what we don't like, all these kind of things. We do have an interesting guest this week, back to another guest, and I'm going to let Sugar-Free Nos introduce him.
We do. He is a partnered Twitch. He is partnered on Twitch with over 300 subscribers. He's sponsored by iBuyPower. He's also sponsored by XSplit and Razer as well. Lots of sponsorships. Very active man. And he's a member of the 1G squad and a person that I really enjoy racing with. His name is BowskiJ. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, welcome.
But for those who don't know who Bo is, he is a member of the 1G squad, like I said. And if you don't know who that is, Summit 1G. So he's a member of their squad. He plays with them often, and he does his own thing, and he does his own Twitch thing, and he's very good at it. And we've raced quite a bit, and I really enjoy playing with him. And he's new to GTA racing, so he'll give a pretty interesting outlook on
a fresh
the topics.
perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
The whole idea with this is this was originally going to be a discussion video that I was planning to create about why we race in GTA, but I think it works a lot better with a podcast where we can have all these different perspectives, and it will be interesting to get Buz's interpretation of that being new and sort of doing his career on racing on GTA quite quickly, you could say. Got up to speed pretty quickly.
Yeah, don't confuse new with bad. He is good.
Yeah.
He is better than me now. Not that I should be any kind of benchmark, but he is much
Yeah, I watched
faster than
that just before the start. I watched that video, The Ultimate Race, I think it was what the title was. That was between you, Summit, and Bowski, Nos, and all that. And that was a really good battle there. That was interesting
me. Yeah,
to
I
watch.
remember that.
So, I've got one announcement to say about the podcast before we get into it, and there's actually two announcements, but the next one is not going to be for a while. The first announcement is that we do have an audio version of the podcast. Finally,
Everyone's prayers have been answered.
can you believe it? A podcast that actually has an audio version. 6 weeks in, we've got an audio version,
and we got
What?
it.
Anybody listening
That's
to this
outrageous.
podcast retroactively and they've gone through like 1 to 6 on just audio only, then they're thinking, wait, what? I've just listened to it all on audio only. But yeah, we do finally have an audio only version of the podcast. The RSS feed is all set up. When the video goes up on Monday, I'll link the RSS feed in the description so you can add it to whatever podcast thing that you use. I have submitted it to iTunes. That tends to take some time to get through, so it might be a while before it's on iTunes, and we'll need to look into all the other ways that you can actually access the podcast and let people know how you can do that. But yeah, it is up there. The first episode is up at least, and the rest of them will be coming very
It's
quickly.
news to me. I didn't even know it was
Very
already.
exciting.
So yeah, there we go. Audio only podcast for those who but I recommend watching it. I've got to say, I recommend watching it because then you'll see the choke of the week. You'll see our wonderful faces. It's a much better experience. Okay, yeah, just listen to it. It's fine. Okay, so GTA racing. Let's talk about it. Why do we race on GTA? Why?
Yeah, why? I mean, GTA is for lulz, not racing.
Yeah,
Go play a real racing game.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not for
Why
racing.
would you race in GTA? Like this is about blowing your friends up in free mode. This is not about racing. Why do we race?
Yeah, go
That is the
play
question.
Forza.
Get over
Answer that
yourselves.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Ah, God.
Ruff, under the fear of a 20-minute rant, would you like to answer that question for us, considering you are at the tippy top of the racing community? Would you like to answer that for us?
I mean, I guess it's. I have a more unique perspective of it because I guess when GTA first came out, I used the game to make people aware of motorsport. I've always loved motorsport. I watch Formula One. I watch all different kinds and categories of motorsport all the time. And when GTA came out, I started playing GTA Online. I saw these car testings that were done terribly, and I decided to do my own take on that. And from that, it evolved into this sort of thing of showcasing proper racing, showcasing how it can be done using a quite a platform like GTA that's very accessible, and taking that and using that to further the message of proper racing and motorsport and how fun it can be. So I guess mine sort of comes from that, and that's why I did it. That's why I started doing it. That's why, we built up originally this community that's kind of grown and grown and grown. It's all because I wanted to further that point that you can race properly, and it's a lot of fun and it takes a lot of skill. And I guess GTA was just the way to do that. I do have some personal reasons why I haven't since gone back to any other racing games, like proper racing games, but I'll come on to that later on. I'll let you guys say why you race on GTA first.
I'd like to go to Bo first,
Yeah.
because Bo, do you have any racing sim experience? Like, have you been into racing games before you got into GTA?
So you guys can't see me, but I'm making this face like, oh shit, are they talking to me right now?
You're the one who
Am I
agreed
that
to be
Bowski
here.
guy?
Just to point out, those who are watching this live now can't see his face, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you will be able to see what he's doing, because we're going to retroactively put his camera down.
So keep it clean back there, Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do you have any experience with racing games in the past?
Gran Turismo back in the day, but I was young, I didn't play a ton
Like
of it.
GT4
Mario Kart
or even earlier?
earlier, like PlayStation days, whenever it came
Well,
out, my brother
GT4
had
was
it.
on the PlayStation 2.
All right.
Not that far back.
Story
No,
now.
yeah.
Jeez.
He just wants he wants facts. He needs timelines. I can understand that. Would not.
You can't handle the truth,
Look,
Nas.
I'm just looking for a timeline here. So you played some when you were younger, and then anything since?
And then, obviously Mario Kart, but no, that's kind of where the buck stopped. I hopped on Grand Theft Auto, and I would just drive around really fast. Am I the only one that did that?
That's kind of how I got started in that, because like my friends back when Vice City and San Andreas were out, they'd always get me to do the driving. They'd be like, "All right, Ryan, you're really good at avoiding traffic and winning races. Do that." But I was never really into proper racing games other than like Need for Speed. I saw someone mention Diddy Kong Racing. I did play Diddy Kong Racing. That's like the extent. Maybe like the Need for Speed Underground 2 and Most Wanted were the two closest racing sims that I ever really played as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. So how did you find out about GTA racing? Because myself and RDT, we kind of already know the story. We've discussed that before, and your story is somewhat similar in that it involves Bruff. But how did you get into GTA racing?
So GTA has the little quick plays or whatever. So you do those, just trying to play, and I was racing with somebody, and I thought I was the bee's knees. And then you and old Blade show up. Next thing I know, I'm like, wait, I'm actually not good. Are these the other cars going by me? Yeah.
I think at one point I beat you in a Buffalo when you were in a Massacro.
No, you never beat me. You beat the other guys.
Oh yeah, that might have been Legion that I did that to.
Yeah, like all those other guys. I'm holding proud to that I wasn't the one that got beat by like the terrible cars.
Congratulations.
It seems to be a common thing that though, like to anyone who's not necessarily within the racing community and racing against the absolute top day in day out, most people who race think that they're the best racers on GTA because they probably win more often than they lose just in random lobbies, because the general skill level of the entire population is so low.
It's so low.
It's so low. It's not an unusual thing to think that, I think. So how did you come across NOS? How did you start racing with NOS and Blade to the point where you actually got whooped and realized that?
Well, I want your perspective, and then I'll give you what really happened.
Summit found your channel, and then he found mine, and he wanted to do some racing. Inadvertently, we ended up racing right around Christmas of 15. So the snow came out. So Shroud, Summit, and I, we all racing around in the snow, just hating our lives, and and then that's when yeah, Nas came around after that, and he kind of started teaching and just showing me the ways of the race. And fast forward a little bit further, next year, Summit and I are doing the same thing again. It's like he gets a GTA racing bug because we even explored other games to go to racing to, but just the lack of customization, lack of map building, lack of everything that Grand Theft Auto accidentally created this accidental great racing game, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So next thing I know, I'm getting better because now I'm bumping into Smithy, Demon, and Serenial, or I'm sorry, Doom Penguin. Not Demon. Doom Penguin.
Serenial is very fast too. He's naming some of the greats of PC, except Smithy. People on console probably know Smithy, but Doom and Serenial are ours.
Yeah. So I'm bumping into these guys now, and now it's just so much fun. But I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard to go like back to it and consistently do it the way you guys do, because you guys obviously have a earlier schedule, and then now everyone's doing RP. So as much as I want to race, it's kind of like you guys are already offline by the time I get off of work. It's irritating. I watch Nos while I'm on the treadmill, and I'm like, I want to be there racing.
I had that experience of it took how many months for me to end up finally playing with Summit after all that time, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was dog tired, and it was horrible, but it was good to actually do that. But yeah, the time zones definitely cause issues.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So come on then, Nos.
How did I get into it?
Why do you race on GTA?
Why do I do it? Well, I'll back up a bit. I don't have any experience with racing games. I mean, I played GT4 a little bit when I was very little, and I was bad, and I couldn't stand it. I didn't do it. And then I didn't get into racing up until I found your channel. Because at the time, I don't know if I've ever actually told this. At the time, I was just looking for something to do in GTA. This was after the game I played first online very seriously was Red Dead Redemption, and I put 80 days into that online, and then I moved to Battlefield 3. So I kind of have these main games that I play. So I did Red Dead Redemption, and then I did Battlefield 3, and I think I have a comparable time in that as well. I got to Colonel 100 on Battlefield 3, and that's what I did. And then I transitioned. Battlefield 3 got old, and then I transitioned to GTA. I was just looking for something to do. I mean, I honestly didn't care what it was, but at the time, I know, coming from Red Dead Redemption, how the PvP was over there to GTA, it's just awful, in my opinion. PvP in GTA is not fun in the slightest, so if you can't do anything that involves shooting, which is 90% of the game, well, there's only one avenue you can go, and that's driving. And I ended up finding Bruff and getting into the crew. RDT, I think you were probably one of the first people I met in the crew, I think.
Really?
You commented on my introduction post or something. I think you were like the first post
RDT
there.
used to comment on all the introduction posts.
I've been in the crew for a while now.
Yeah.
True OG.
But that's how I got into it, and I was terrible because I had no experience. Like, I didn't know what's a racing line. I mean, well, half the people in the crew don't know what a racing line is still today. But
an Apex.
I didn't know anything, and I came from the ground up to be a mediocre driver, and it's been a lot of fun.
I think you're more than mediocre, Nos.
Yeah,
I think you're pretty darn cool.
After yesterday's stream that I did, I might be a little better than mediocre.
Why? What happened?
Yeah.
Did he actually win one yesterday?
No, I'm never gonna win a race, but it was one fantastic race. Let me tell you.
Okay.
But we'll move on to that when we talk about events. So RDT, what about you? Or have you already answered?
Well, I kind of gave a little. I interrupted Bo. I just mixed the two together.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get this right. But Bo, I interrupted Bo a little bit. But yeah, when I was a kid, my first system was a Nintendo 64, and so Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing were the two that I kind of started to get into, and then I went to GameCube and played the Need for Speed games. And then the only true sim that I ever had before all of this was Forza Motorsports 2. And I had dabbled around with you know,
It's a classic.
I'd always been a really good driver in GTA, just being fast and going in missions and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know. And then, you know, I found Bruffy's YouTube channel in late 2013 when he started doing these testing videos of all of the stock cars. And he mentioned his crew, and I joined in December 2013, like early December, and just started racing. And that's pretty much the story of how I got into GTA racing.
I've
Very,
got to
very
say,
Cliff Notes version.
it feels pretty amazing when you have people who say that they're racing in GTA or part of the community because of my videos and because of what I've done. And I
Makes
guess
you feel good, doesn't it?
It does. Like, I've tried to build this up. Like, my whole goal, like I said, was to showcase proper racing and motorsport done in a more accessible way, and to know that people who were sort of not really interested in racing at all, never really picked up a sim, are now racing to a good level on GTA and enjoying it, and enjoying proper high level racing and overtaking, and with the rules all around it of not hitting people and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that this community has sort of been built up from nothing, really. I mean, there wasn't really anything like this. It is really nice, I've got to say.
Yeah, that's what happens when you bring together like-minded individuals that have a same kind of hobby.
It's good to at least have that sort of option there for if people want to get more involved, they can, rather than just say putting out testing videos and then not having anything else, and nowhere collectively for people who like that sort of thing to join up. And even when it comes to Summit and how him and all of those guys got into it, just randomly popping onto my stream one time when we did that Slow Sports Showdown event, which was one of the better events that we've ever done. It was the perfect event to join in on, how close that race was and the amount of stuff that was going in on it. But it is amazing that that's the effect that it can have. It is so versatile, so many things that you can do, has such a high skill ceiling, but is accessible, that it can bring people in like that who like that sort of thing. So it is pretty amazing, and I think that's one of the reasons why we continue to race in GTA. It does have that accessibility in addition to having that high skill ceiling as well. It's very difficult to be the absolute top driver. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, and like Bo said, they really did accident themselves into a great racing game.
Yeah,
just
they really
not
did.
even trying.
It's amazing.
They wanted people jumping around and blowing each other up, and somehow you got a bunch of losers like us,
I know,
setting down barriers and tires and
looking at code.
Tires. You don't want to do tires. You know.
I know, it's amazing that like, what must they think, the people who created the game originally and had an idea for it, and then how they happened. I mean, I always consider that the Cunning Stunts update was the racing update. It had the vast majority of things that we've always put forward as a racing DLC in it, and you know, to go from what they had initially to that, and have this relatively decently sized community that is well organized and does all these things, and it has turned the game into a racing game. And I think it's an important point that what Bo said is that, you know, you're trying different games and going on to different racing experiences, but none of them have the same customization and the same freedom and the same variety and versatility that GTA has. It might not be the perfect game from a purely simulator racing standpoint. It always has its issues. It has the curb boosting, it has various other things, but the positives of owning your own cars, customizing how you want, making your own tracks is a huge one. All of that freedom.
That's what keeps this game alive.
That is what keeps it alive. The track creator, and the fact that you can go from having a car meet and showing off your car to then going into a high level race, and then mix in some like shenanigans that we did with the MCC in with all that. It's just all in one game. And I want more of that with the next one. I want them to push behind that sort of freedom. But yeah, it is.
Yes.
That's why it keeps us here, I think, because of that that variety that it has. So other racing games.
We can talk about some we've played recently. I suppose. You know, where we've went if GTA has managed to make us go and play other racing games, which it has, at least in my case.
Yeah, I mean, I always
Makes
used
it
to. I was
tempting.
very heavy on the simulator racing games growing up. I mean, I played Need for
You've done
Speed,
the
obviously.
opposite.
What?
Yeah. Well, you've done the opposite. You were on Sims, and
Yeah.
then you got to GTA. And
Yeah,
then moved
basically,
everywhere
I've done the
else.
opposite to you
So,
guys. Yeah,
yeah.
but I played the Forza 2, 3, 4. I played Gran Turismo 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them really. And I used to love them. I used to enjoy them. Obviously, I was heavily into motorsport and as a general sport, so I enjoyed them in that way. And since getting on GTA, I find the simulator games now a little bit boring and a bit bland, especially since I started racing in real life. I think the combination of both of those things, like I don't need this highly competitive fix anymore from simulated racing games because I've been racing in real life and I've had the real thing and the real experience. And then
That's
on
really interesting.
GTA also put into that gives the notice.
You got our guests
Boy in the
losing
chat.
track of what's going on. No.
You're a guest. If you want to be noticed, just talk.
Just say it. I know. Yeah,
Sorry,
man.
I'm a troll.
The variety that GTA has made me think that the simulator games just aren't as fun anymore. They don't have that variety. They don't have they can't keep me entertained as long as what GTA can.
See, that's interesting to me because the sport games that I would play growing up were pretty much solely Madden, which is American football.
Yeah,
I don't know if
man.
you're familiar with that. And I
Oh,
played
I'm very
football.
familiar.
Playing.
I played football growing up, and so knowing what was happening in the game made it more interesting to me, like having played the game. So
Knowing the
Yeah,
defenses
racing is
and
like
Yeah,
that too.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like doing the racing in GTA and then playing some other Sims that well, not really Sims. I don't have a wheel, unfortunately. But some of the games I've played, being able to understand some of that really does make real motorsport a lot more fun to watch, which is part of what Bruff wants to do as well. So,
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, like Spanish GP was amazing.
Yeah, and you have a better understanding of what's going on in the Spanish GP watching Formula One because you've been racing in GTA or games and you understand the ins and outs of actually racing like that, I suppose. Yeah, that's interesting.
Literally and figuratively.
Bo,
have
what
a
about you?
question.
Have you? Oh, you have a question.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So one thing I started doing when I initially got on was what was the track called around the prison?
Cutting
Criminal
corners. No.
Records?
Oh my
No.
goodness. I just immediately
Criminal
think
Records.
of cutting corners.
Oh,
Right? So
man.
cutting
Too many hot
corners.
laps.
When
It
I
was,
first get in.
No, it
Criminal
wasn't cutting
Records.
corners. It was criminal
Oh,
records.
criminal records. Yeah, criminal records.
Criminal
so when I first get
records.
in, I'm just trying to unlock everything, right? So
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
just do that. So I'm hot. I'm quick playing that, and I'm beating all these guys just with stock cars. And it got to the point to where they would just knock me off. They would just pit maneuver me, and I'm like, what? Like, is this really racing? Like, what are you guys doing?
The answer's no.
Then I started doing like the crazy races, how the track goes 1,700 feet up in the air and you fly everywhere. Do you guys actually enjoy doing those races, or
You'll
how's
get
that
mixed
whole thing
responses
work?
with this question, actually.
Mm.
I know. I'll answer first because mine's simple. No. I do not enjoy stunt races in any shape or form. I cannot stand
Right.
them, and I keep it to serious tracks only. Like
God,
if you
you're
get
such
if
a
you jump
Wet
or
blanket.
loop
Nas.
or anything like that, I don't like it. It's not for me.
Well,
I know
I'm the
Bruff
opposite.
and
I
RDT.
do like it to mix it up a little bit because again, I don't take GTA racing. Ironically, I don't take GTA racing as seriously as a lot of people do in the crew, especially when it comes to stream races. Like I couldn't care less where I finish, how I do. So unless it's a proper event like an MCC race or a specific event race that's been set up as a standalone thing, I just don't care. So I don't mind mixing other things in and having a bit of fun with it. Again, that comes from the real life racing as well. Like all my competitive fix comes from specific competitive events and the real life stuff. So I find it hard to enjoy the competitive side of Sims because of that. Because I get my competitive fix elsewhere. And then when it comes to GTA, that's also what keeps GTA fresh for me, is having that variety of, you can have a proper race, but then you can switch in the next race to have a rally race, and then you can have a looping race and stunt race and all these different weird kind of things. So I like that variety. I wouldn't want to do it solely constantly. I would like to mix it. It's good to mix in, but yeah, I like the variety of that.
Yeah.
RDT, you in the same boat as him?
I mean,
Pick a side. It's me or him. Pick a side. There's no in between.
I mean, I like Ruffy's answer. Everything's good in moderation, and I think there are a lot of really creative tracks out there that can be fun. You know, I don't like to bottom myself down into one little aspect of the game. You know, I enjoy adversary modes from time to time. I had a lot of fun destroying Bruffy and Tiny Racers. That was a blast.
Not the first batch. I won the first one, I think. I remember. Don't say you've forgotten about
my
that.
My memory's a bit fuzzy on that one.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
thought
know.
it would be.
But I mean, like, I enjoy all the different aspects that this game can provide, all the different things that you can do.
Man,
And I know
wish
some
did.
people don't like adversary modes, but some of them are good, some of them are fun, and in moderation, I think you can enjoy something at least some of the time.
Yeah, I guess that's what keeps GTA fresh. So yeah, that's me never going back to, not really never, but that's why I've never really gone back to simulator races, because of that competitive edge that I get elsewhere and the variety that GTA has. But what about you guys? Can you guys see you going to any maybe sim races or more geared towards sim stuff? I know Formula 1 2017 is sort of around the corner relatively soon, and Gran Turismo Sport is on its way. Maybe I'll check those out, I think, and just see what I feel about them, but whether they can keep me entertained. But what about you guys? Are you guys going to be playing any of those?
From time to time, I play Forza Motorsport 6, but that's pretty much the
If I
only
get a
one that I
wheel,
play.
I'm kind of open to anything myself. I've thought about picking up Assetto Corsa. I've played a little bit of Project Cars, but that's not very good. The only other kind of casual thing would be Forza Horizon 3, and that was bad. I mean, going back to the topic of like GTA being the best racing game we have right now, it really is a crime if that's the case, is it not? It is an absolute crime. We also have The Crew 2 coming up, and if they do that correctly, then we might have a good game on our hands. But are they going to do it correctly? I don't know. The first Crew was not that great. So
what was the AAA title they made that?
the developer of The Crew,
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Yeah, they're not good.
That kind of sums it up.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Look, Ubisoft is getting better. Okay, they're getting a little better.
No.
A little
You
bit.
say
Assassin's
so.
Creed 27
Oh,
coming.
Ubisoft. What about you, Bo? What about you?
Listen, right. Watch Dogs.
Oh,
Whoever's got-
really,
Listen, you're not a
Watch
guest in this.
Dogs.
You're our own producer.
Get out of here right now.
right. I've slagged off Ubisoft as much as I possibly can in the past, but Watch Dogs 2 was actually a decent game, evidenced by the
Bravo.
several thousand
One decent game.
pages of QA developers that they had to use for the
Should
in the credits.
we just
Oh
mute
my
and be
goodness.
Hammer? Just,
Congratulations.
what about you, Bo?
Decent game.
Racing games. Do you
Yeah,
think
Bo.
you're gonna? I mean, you said you went to other ones, but couldn't really hold your attention. Are there any that you're gonna look at?
Yeah, I tried. What was that Forza that came out recently?
Horizon 3.
Horizon 3, and that was like my first taste of.
Can we just poop on that for a bit?
Forza.
Can we just
Yeah, that was.
can we just
I
call
never
that
actually
as being
played
a
it.
bad video game?
I wasn't
Don't
too
play it.
interested
It's a
in
waste
it.
of
Don't
time.
waste your money.
I wasn't
Well,
bothered.
Summit, we're GTA racing, and because you're kind of limited to the cars if your skill set's around the same.
Yeah.
If you get a slower car, and you're kind of gonna be pulled to the back,
Yeah.
So Summit's like, oh man, I can't wait till Forza comes out. Oh, I'm gonna be beating that ass and that all the time. And so we both buy the $100 edition.
I did too. I should not have. I apologize. I brought
Classic
shame to my
error.
family. I pre-ordered a
Bamboozled
video
again.
game.
Yeah, never
and I
pre-order
regret it for my
games.
sins. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I wish I had the $100 back.
It was so bad, man. It was just like, this is it, huh?
Like it had the potential. It was there pre-release and then nothing. Just
absolutely nothing. But
if
Gran
they
Turismo's coming out
balanced-
soon, right?
Go ahead. What now?
Gran Turismo's coming out soon, right?
Yeah, Gran Turismo
yeah,
Sport at some point
that's
soon.
soon. That doesn't
Yeah.
apply to me until like 2033 when we get a PlayStation 4 emulator, and I'll play it then.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm not gonna buy a pre-release though. I'll
Yeah, wait.
I'm gonna watch some Twitch channels and I'm gonna see if it's something I'm willing to spend
Yeah,
money on.
that's a good idea.
And I'll hop in. Yeah.
It
Let
is
somebody else spend the money.
interesting how GTA has kind of, because I was thinking earlier, you know, what if Rockstar decided to make another Midnight Club, but
Yeah.
you know, and focused it on racing and sort of took the racing from GTA into a new game and fixed all the things that we don't like and things like that. But then what could it do better than GTA? And when you think about it, you would also lose all the other aspects of GTA. The only things they could really do better are a little bit more of a focus on racing properly, you know, without the curb boosting and stuff like that.
I mean,
But the car
But another
customization,
thing-
all the huge amount of array of cars you can have, the tracks is a huge thing. I think could they incorporate that into a Midnight Club? But then why would you? Why? Yeah, that's outside my window, RDT. That's not.
That's not my end.
That's not your
For
end
once, it's
for
not on
once.
my end. Yeah.
But you know, what could they add to that would necessarily make us want to go to that instead of GTA?
Who's got the
Well,
fucking
I mean, I think it goes back to the base level of if you're building a racing game, then the map that you build for the racing game is going to be built for racing, even if it is a cityscape environment or it's a hills environment. Like as good as the map for GTA 5 is, it's not built for racing. It is built to look like an authentic world.
Yeah.
And with that, you get poles, you get medians, you get curbs everywhere, you get signs everywhere, you get fantastic roads that are just one-way roads. Like, for instance, the road up to the Vinewood sign, terrible, great road, doesn't go anywhere. You know, and you know, whenever you play these racing games, some of these open world racing games, like say for instance, you know, I played recently Need for Speed Underground 2. You know, there are certain types of roads that are expected. You know, you've got your cityscape environment, which GTA does, but you've also got the hills environment, which GTA kind of does, but not enough of, in my opinion. And then you've got the whole, you know, snaky road that goes up a hill that's just nothing but hairpins that, you know, people put on some Eurobeat and drift down. You know,
You're gonna get those roads that are always closed and like that's where all the
under
illegal
construction.
racing goes.
Yeah, like when you build a game based on racing, you get those things.
I guess they
that
could
are
even
meant
put
to be a
an
racing game.
actual racetrack in it, a custom built
And that is
racetrack.
true as well.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose
To be fair,
that's
they could have
true.
done that with GTA as well.
Yeah,
but...
they could. Needs a map expansion, GTA. Anyway, that's a different topic. I think the one of the big things that has kept GTA apart from that's kept it alive apart from the content creator and the track building is events and especially
without a
within
doubt.
our community, the kind of events that we've created and raced with and it's amazing the sort of things that have happened with events. I know that Bo was in the snow event that we did. I don't know whether he's done anything else or beyond that, but the whole event system that we have just gives it so much more life beyond that.
Oh yeah.
I guess I think it's interesting to get the impression of Bo regarding that, because obviously, like he said, it's been quite quick where he started racing randomly and then did some playlist racing and then quickly, you know, then did the event with the snow event if there's any other that
it's
he's
a shame
done,
if the
but-
schedules conflict and that's the only event you've been able to do.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah,
we
I-
do have an evening playlist, by the way. I'll mention this to you now while I'm thinking about it. Baron has on PC has started an evening playlist. Might want to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it was getting pretty full when I saw it on the other night on TeamSpeak. So
Yeah, get in that.
um,
But yeah, the when it comes to events, is it something that you both think looks pretty good and wish you could do more?
Yeah, no, it's. I had a blast with it, man. Once I realized, like, I raced with Doom Penguin and Serenial, and I hung with them for I kept up with them for at least 2 laps. I was like, man, I wish I was in GP1 to kind of see where I could stand.
Yeah.
But obviously, you have to prove yourself to be with the best. You just can't hop in the ring with Mike or Ali or anything like that. So.
yeah.
But events, that was a lot of fun. My problem is with events, I have a puppy bladder. So if I have a sip of water,
Yeah.
if I have a beer, like, I gotta go, you know?
So you're gonna need a bottle, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a bottle. I need to mute my
Get a
mic.
mason
And why are
jar.
you making that face? What are you doing? You know? But events.
So
that-
your
it's a
problem is the
blast.
endurance format. You just can't.
Yeah.
hold
Yeah,
your-
maybe you need an
bladder
event
that
that has like 2 or 3 races in one round or something like that, shorter form
Yeah, like
races.
Yeah,
20
see,
minute
that's
races.
cool. Yeah, now that's cool. Yeah, because that day I was just sitting here like, my mouth is so dry, like I didn't drink anything that whole time.
They are difficult to get used to.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
it's a
people
lot of fun.
underestimate these endurance events on GTA. They are
Yeah.
quite. They take a bit of effort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
you
at
can
it.
do like a 10 race playlist and be fine. That lasts like 2 hours, but one race that lasts an hour, you might go
You-
insane. It's like
Brutal.
It drains you.
Yeah.
It definitely
Yeah.
does.
What
like
have you?
all
What have
the
been
different
your
wrong.
favorite events? You guys, RDT and NOS, since you've been
RDT, you
doing
answer
events.
first. I
I've-
can answer.
pretty much only done MCEC season 4 confirmed. I did the first one. I did the first event that we ever did for multi-class racing, which was the Elegy and the Penumbra on North Loop, and that was just like a one-off.
Yeah.
Ooh, I bet that was fun. That sounds like a good combination to use today. Still.
That was a lot of
Well,
fun.
we actually did that for the last round of season 2 on the North Loop was OG and Penumbra as a
Oh,
sort
yeah,
of
well-
going back to that, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't in that. So
I don't know if I was in season 2.
remember, our season 2 on
Probably
PC was a mess.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, that was the first. That was like a test event to see if it could work.
Yeah, and it did really well.
and that actually spawned the multi-class endurance stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Go on
So I
then.
think that was my favorite, just being on the ground floor of that entire thing.
Yeah, the very first one. Bet there's not many people around who took in those races. Still. What about you, Nos?
True OGs.
I would say overall, probably my favorite has been MCEC Season 3 Race 1, Sports Classics, Blaine County. Battled the entire time in the Coquette Classic. I lost out at the end with a major choke. Yeah, I need to submit that to
Yeah,
choke of the week. Actually, miss it because I have that footage on hand. Missing that mid drive in the one of the final corners of the final lap and losing out on the position.
No.
I should have won.
But yeah, I should have beat Vikstro.
And
But
Jerry.
he's just such a scrub.
Yeah, interesting.
But recently, I have to speak about the event that I did yesterday. It was yesterday, around this time. It was Khalib hosted it. It was a Futo event. Everyone was in the Futo around Dr. Cloden's spa, which if you've watched my streams at all, you've probably seen. But every one of us was in the Futo. I had an hour of practice beforehand, and so we were all, since we were all in the Futo, I thought it would be a good idea to, does anyone have a Eurobeat playlist? So I erased, I put on Eurobeat the whole time, and that focused me like a crazy. I was focused. I started at the very back due to some issues in the pre-lobby that might have involved a grenade. And so I started at the very back, and I made my way all the way up to, I think my highest position was 4th, and I ended up finishing 6th after all the pits were done. And it was the most fun that I have had in a racing event in forever. Self promotion, absolutely. Go onto my channel.
Always, he can always self-promote.
and watch that
I wanna go
event.
back
You never
and watch
know.
those now.
It was a lot of fun. Please go watch it because it was the best event that I've had on my channel in a very long time, and it was so much fun because the Futo is it's hard to control, but it's not uncontrollable. And just watching everyone else mess up and me trying to keep my composure, it was just amazing.
It has been
It's
amazing
just-
the type of events that we've had over the years, and the different, people are very creative with the kind of events. Definitely need to get Bo into some of those. Get some late night events
Yes.
going on, so he can
Yeah.
take it to
agree.
the next level. Although maybe just not the hour long races. So interesting that you said MCC, and I did say that there would be 2 announcements in the course of this podcast.
Do I need to take cover?
MCEC, the Multi-Class Endurance
God.
Championship,
Oh God!
season
Oh, God.
4 is going to be going
no.
ahead this year.
This year! Oh my goodness!
There it is. So I've been hounded about it so much over the last few months. MC season 4 confirmed has always been a joke in every single stream.
You know,
Now it has actually been confirmed. I'm not giving any details about it.
yeah.
No, there's nothing put up about it anywhere. You can't sign up yet or anything like that. But you keep an eye out for it. It is going to be coming.
Take over again.
But that is
Can't
the
wait.
confirmation that the 4th season of the championship.
7 seasons confirmed.
No, don't start this. But MCC season
I think
4.
the chat's quite happy with that announcement there.
Yeah, the chat seems very happy. Season 4 is confirmed. It will be happening this year. What's MCC?
Nice.
Good
The first
stuff.
race, December 31st. You heard it here first. First race starts this year.
That has to be the title just to get everybody to watch MC season 4 confirmed.
Yeah. MCC
With
season
BowskiJ.
7 confirmed now. That's it. I'm done. The chat.
7 seasons. That's crazy. Thanks.
Can't wait.
Thank you, bruv. That's awesome.
All right,
The
so
movie.
we've talked a lot about why GTA racing and things like that. Let's get into the regular segments. But before we do that, if anybody wanted to ask any questions for any of us, that can be to one of us in particular, and take your chance to ask our guest a question. If there's something burning
We
that
have
you've
a
always wanted to
professional
ask
streamer
for.
on hand for the first time. First time that we've had someone that's a professional on
Yeah,
our show.
definitely get
if you would
some
like to
questions
ask
for
them
him.
how it's done, please do so.
I'm just
wanna
looking
tell everybody what to
down
do?
all sad and just realizing that this is so true. I'm not a professional streamer. But yeah, as always, you can get into the Discord channel, the phone bank that has been opened up to regulars as well. So it's not just those who have Twitch subscribers
you
and
money.
Patreon supporters, but it is regulars as well. If you're all synced up via that, then you can get in the phone bank, get your questions ready. MB Hammer will be in there to take your questions and put you in one by one, and we'll all answer them. But
Question and answers brought to you by Discord, the *1 communication service for gamers. Discord.gg. we have 2 Discord partners on the podcast today, so gotta be showing them some love.
oh, there's a question from Smithy. Bo, do you want to field that one?
Hold on, before we read Smithy's question, did anyone see Dead Kelly? What Kelly said? I have this rash. Well, I just want you to know that
boy.
you're definitely gonna have to amputate.
Oh boy,
You're gonna have to amputate.
rip!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Smithy, there's nothing I can do, man. Considering you taught me a lot of things. Smithy's such a troll, man.
He is. He's a big troll. I mean, that's a question
so sorry.
I have for Bo. What are your thoughts on curb boosting? Because somebody asked that in the
boy.
I'm
chat.
gonna be entirely honest with you. Yeah, like some people hate it. Other people are like, just take it out of the game. It's okay. It's there. Let's use it. I don't know. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we were talking about Madden earlier. There's always going to be one play that is almost impossible
Unstoppable.
to stop. Yeah. So someone's gonna use it on you. So you should know how to use it just in case someone is going to use it.
Yeah.
It's like fight fire with fire, you know. And if you
Exactly.
can do good with it, you can dominate. So I like it.
But what if you
all
went,
of it?
if you had the ability to take it out the game completely, would you, or would you leave it?
See, that's a hard one. See, that's a hard question, though.
It is a hard question. That's why I asked it.
Because because
Hard-hitting
I feel
questions
like
from journalist Brophy.
there's still so many different things. There's still short shifting. You know, short shifting still isn't as good without the curve boost, but it's still there and it still works effectively. So if you don't know that, then you're still a peg down. You know.
Yeah.
So even if you remove that, you still have a problem. But put everyone on an even playing field, huh? That'd be interesting.
From a pure racing standpoint of mine, I would take it out without even a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I
mean, I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it, but take it out if you can.
Put everyone on the even playing field and see where everyone else, see where they still stand. Because that would be interesting to watch now that we've come this far.
Yeah.
So I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it.
Okay. All right, let's do the regular segment. So let's kick it off with the choke of the week. Let's do that.
Bringing right into the choke of the week.
Nice.
Where's the playlist?
Choking Hazard Podcast Choke of the Week.
Choke of the week.
All right, so I'll let you guys know when I start the playlist playing this time, so that you can follow it through as we're going. But I'm going to start the first race like 45 seconds in. No, let's say 40 seconds because it's quite a. And then I'll skip to the next one quicker as well. But
Are you guys doing choke of the week?
We are doing
choke of the week.
Yes.
We're doing our regular segments, Hammer.
Well, listen, right, I can't do two things at once, can I?
Well, that's fine. Just let people be in the phone bank. They can sit there for a while, and we can just get this done.
We got one guy in there.
It is a virtue, patience.
Okay, we don't have a choke of the week jingle. We probably need that. We need some sort of jingle for choke of the week.
Yeah, some kind of like used car salesman jingle or something. some kind of low end radio jingle. That'd be great.
Okay, so let me go to this one. There we go. So we'll start playing it now. So we're not even on GTA for this one, this first clip.
Forza Motorsport 6 in the Lancer Evolution. One of my favorite cars.
In second place,
coming around the bend.
15. A lot of tires around there.
Doing pretty good. Looks like he has a promising race ahead of him.
And not anymore.
Ah, shit!
Engine damaged, driveline damaged, body damaged, front downforce damaged, clutch damaged, transmission damaged, steering damaged, left front brake damaged, left front suspension damaged.
Anything else? No?
Everything.
Oh,
you can't even get it moving again.
Will to live damaged. Confidence damaged.
Oh my god. Yeah, that has not gone well for him. He's down. He went from second to 8th. Wait, was that the? Oh, he had one more lap to go. Yeah, that has not gone well.
No.
He just can't do anything. What? Poor guy.
As always, guys, as we're going through, pick out which one is your favorite, because then you guys will be voting for what is your choke of the week this week.
We're gonna call this clip "Hit the Apex."
Yeah.
That's what this clip is. This hit the apex.
All right, let's move on to the next clip. The lap it all went wrong. This is an old one. Back in the snow.
Back in the snow, all slippery in the vodka. Unusual choice of car for this class.
In first
Actual
place.
unusual choice. Yeah, first place in the vodka, and then we have some prop issues.
Yeah, that's not gone well. That's not gone well.
Casino Royale is what we'll call that one.
Yeah.
That's man.
Down into second.
That thing so many times.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's issue. That's first place, well and truly.
I'm watching that movie tonight.
And every body panel. Can we just edit the? Can we edit the messages from Forza Motorsport 6 from the last clip? Just put it in here because I think it would fit pretty well.
Yeah. And the last one.
Here comes the last clip on a stunt track here.
Yeah.
Yellow Stock Massacro. Now this one is going to be a game of where's he going to choke? Is it going to be here? Is it going to be there? Is it going to be over there? Don't know.
This is where's the choke going to be? This is going to be interesting.
Where is it going to be?
Is he going to run into traffic here?
Who's the?
Yeah, is there a shared section?
Oh, is it going to be here?
As he comes. Oh, is this a sign?
no.
Oh, no, he gets past the sign. Not rear-ended either. He's okay still.
Interesting.
Is he gonna miss
Where
his
is the
checkpoint?
choke
There's
gonna
plenty
be?
of room.
Oh,
Nope.
We got combination. Oh no!
Shared traffic.
Didn't hit anyone at the
Oh.
shared section. Who's that in front?
Where is he?
Oh,
who's
what's
this
happened?
scum?
Oh, what's happened? Oh, what's happened?
Oh, issues have been had.
What's happened?
And due to the fault of others.
So we'll go back and
Namely,
play
one
them all
person
again.
is he.
We had a little message from Dimitri, who's the first.
no.
The first clip that first place was actually pitting, so he would have taken first place
Oh,
in this
really?
race.
Wow.
Oh.
But
that
yeah,
makes it so
the
much
last
worse.
clip that was me in the orange massacro in the lead. I guess that was more my choke, but I took out not only myself but second place as well. Like
You're just that bad.
I was just that
Yeah.
bad.
That bad.
So yeah, the straw poll is getting put in the chat. You guys can vote on that. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. Which one is your favourite choke, and what will be your Choking Hazard podcast choke of the week?
We
There
need
you
we
go.
need to hear your guys' opinions first, though. Obviously.
No, we don't want to
what's your
influence
guys'
the
choke of
voting.
week?
Yeah, no.
You don't
Look,
wanna-
if I say I like a clip, everyone will vote for it. I don't want that. I want.
And if I say I like a
Oh,
clip, then
that's-
everyone will not vote for it.
This is
Yeah,
me
exactly.
preparing you before I reveal what is the winner.
Yeah, well,
So,
let
have a
us
think
know
about
when
it
you've got a
first.
winner, and then we'll give our
Yeah, just tell us when the
yeah.
voting's done.
And but don't reveal the winner first. So yeah, that's our second one, and then the last one that we just saw. We'll skip a little bit.
And sorry
The
for
guy
those
in
just
the vodka's
listening.
wearing a monkey
Yeah,
mask.
sorry for those just.
Yeah, for those listening to the audio version of this podcast, this segment of the show is irrelevant to you, and I
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah, at this
Well,
point
wait,
they've
I don't
already turned
apologize.
it off.
Bruff apologizes.
Yeah.
I take no responsibility for this.
Well, if you if you want, this is primarily a video podcast, so get watching it on YouTube if you want to be seeing the chokes.
Don't you be forcing. Look, all right, there's somebody right now.
No, instead
in
just watch it
traffic.
every way you
All right,
can.
he's in traffic. He's going into a hard day of work. All right, it is 7:45 a.m. He's going to be late, and he is listening to our show. Don't you tell him he does
Late
not
at
have the time
7:45?
to watch our show. All right, listen. Thank you.
Alabama time. It's different.
Look, that guy. All right, that guy in the car. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Okay, fair enough.
You are fulfilling my lifelong dream of just a little bit closer to being
Just
on
being
radio.
on the
Thank
radio.
you.
So somebody did you see that comment on the previous video, the previous episode on YouTube? Somebody
Somebody was
actually said
listening.
I listened
I don't
to
read the comments.
I actually listened to these in the car rather
Yeah,
than
see?
watch them.
There's
So
that
there
guy.
are people who
There's
do
that
that. And I guess a
We
podcast
appreciate
it
you.
works well in that way. But yeah, I guess what people can do if they do only listen, they can load it up on YouTube, look in the timestamps, look in the description for the timestamps.
Yes, we do have convenient timestamps
Yeah.
that no one knows
I
about.
know. All
apparently.
you have to do is look in the description, find where it says regular segments, and just click the link there, and you'll be taken straight to the choke of the week. You can watch all the chokes that way. That's what you got to do.
There you go.
So I've posted the link again, but I think we've got a bit of a we've got a vector.
All right,
I'll put it
okay.
up.
So let's give our thoughts. I haven't made my
Who's
mind up
first?
yet, so someone else go first.
I like the Forza 6 choke. I like that. That was just grade A bad driving, and
Despite having
I
gotten
can
into the lead.
admire- Yes.
Yeah.
I can admire some grade A bad driving, and that was some absolutely terrible driving. So that is my choice. You weren't even. That wasn't even trying to cut it close. You just decided to drive right into the wall for fun, and I admire your decision.
Who was
Yeah.
that driving?
That
was
was
it?
Dmitry
Yeah.
Shostakovich. A few
Yes.
others.
Dmitry Shostakovich.
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Bo. What's your favorite? What's your choke of the week? of
Oh,
those three?
instantly Forza.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Because that looked like something I would do.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Fair enough. What about RDT?
As much as I hate to agree with Nas, I'm gonna have to agree with Nas. That was
Clean
that
slate
was
from the
yeah,
host here.
that was a dope choke. I have to say, it's
Yeah,
like
that's pretty good.
next
That's pretty
level freaking out on a corner. I like it.
I was.
Good job, Dimitri. Well, again, not really a good
Yeah,
job, but
yeah, bad job.
good.
Dimitri, you're awful. You are awful.
Good.
Good job for being
congratulations.
bad.
I feel like I kind of have to go for the last one because it was my choke and I was the one who choked and caused the incident. But
Sell
in
out.
all reality, yeah, the first one I think was the best of the chokes in my.
So you're
for
kind of
our
like me
opinion.
from the preview.
We've got it.
You've got one that's correct, and then one you like more.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
kind of
much.
position.
Yeah. I will just point
So
out
it's-
before we
it's-
have the results. I just got to point out to everybody that there were a lot of good chokes submitted, and whether they do get
Yeah, so
completely
if you didn't
wiped.
get selected,
but if
be
you
sure to
didn't get-
resubmit.
Yeah, if you didn't get shown
Yeah.
or you didn't win, resubmit your choke because we had a lot of really good ones and it was difficult getting them down to 3. But yeah, feel free to resubmit it every single week, even if you don't get it shown, or submit a better
Yeah.
one if you find a better one or you do a better one. Go on then,
Apparently
which
it's
is our
difficult to
winner?
get it down to 12.
Who
So we
is
had-
our Choking Hazard podcast choke of the week? Who's the winner?
So we had an overwhelming decision by our host, co-hosts, and guests, and an overwhelming decision by chat with 76 votes out of 103. It's choke 1 Forza.
Congratulations,
For Dimitri.
Nice.
Well done, Dimitri
You are awful
Shostakovich.
at the game.
Yeah, you
Congratulations.
suck. Well done.
Oh, jeez.
There's only one
aggressive.
person that could turn into that wall as poorly as you did, and that was you. Congratulations, you won nothing
Good job.
except bragging rights for being so bad.
Yeah.
I like all the broken
Can we get some
items
Bruffy
on his
choke?
car.
Can we get some Bruffy choke
Bruffy
in
choke
the
in the
chat
chat.
for Dimitri, please?
Next regular segment, let's have some RDT's Apple Juice Minute. Let's do it.
Oh, all right.
Bring it in.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Oh, he's gonna
The
bet.
Alcoholic Anonymous portion. Of the
Yeah. I've got to point out
Except
to
it's
everybody
not
in the
so
chat that
anonymous.
supposedly, according to RDT, this is the final week of the whiteboard.
Of this particular whiteboard, yes, we will force him to get another
Yeah,
one.
so
but just be prepared. It'll be a different whiteboard. It's kind of like losing a puppy. Okay, you
Well,
get
we-
a new puppy and you love the new puppy, but it's not the same
But
puppy.
you know, the chat just gets things taken away from them all the time. They had the hat, and then that got taken away. They
Yeah,
had
they
the
should be
chair,
used to it.
that got taken away. They must be used to the whiteboard. Oh,
Oh my
oh, what's
goodness.
this?
Oh my lord.
Is this thing on?
Oh my
I don't know.
goodness.
Could, you guys here? All right, now that
Yeah,
pansy
partner, I'm
boy is
here.
gone,
Man, you look
gonna
like
hear
one
a
of my
message?
cousins. How you
you're
doing?
going to hear a message from your American cousin, Ulysses Northcutt. Do you know what this weekend is? Are you
It's
aware?
Memorial Day weekend, brother.
This is one of the most important holidays in American culture. Okay?
God
It's a
bless.
weekend
Hold on,
where-
hold that thought.
Here we go. Put it on. Put it on, cousin.
Hold that thought on, man.
For anybody listening to this, you
Alright,
have to
we
go
got
on the
it.
video
Hold on.
and watch this
Hold on.
bit.
There we go. All right, I'm
Put it
here.
on, cousin.
You will
I'm
not
here,
be
alright.
disappointed.
This is amazing.
We are ready to go.
It's one of the most important holidays in American culture.
God
okay?
bless America, man.
We remember those who have fought and died for our country. It's a very serious issue. But we also grab the boys, go up to the nearest lake or beach, get blackout drunk on a boat, water ski, jet ski, wakeboard, wherever you want. Pass out, wake up with a sunburn so bad you'll pray to God you never have a drop of alcohol again.
Makes you feel like you swimming in Tabasco sauce. Let me tell you, partner.
You will the next day and the day after till you have to go back to work because that's the American way. Okay? If Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty over here,
Oh,
had
man,
a
only
drink
woman
of
I love.
choice, she wouldn't take some fancy pants cocktail made by some Yankee in some swanky Manhattan bar. Nah. She'd be slugging down a good old-fashioned
Yeah.
American Budweiser. Okay? This little known fact, this is made from molten American flags and cooled down in the Alaskan tundra, but it's not disrespectful. Each batch is brewed in the Liberty Bell, which gives it that extra taste of freedom, and that's exactly what this is. This is
I
freedom
hear
in
you,
a
brother.
bottle. I don't
God
expect
bless America.
Europeans to understand. George Washington came up with this recipe himself, and he kicked your goddamn king out of this country with his own 2 hands. Now you tell me that you won't want to drink one of these right now.
Oh, God bless America. Pass it over.
America.
Oh god.
Wait, Jesus.
Oh,
Man, I've never felt so patriotic in my life. And I went to Talladega and I saluted the flag when they sang the national anthem. God bless America.
America.
The whiteboard now makes all the sense.
God bless America, man. Everybody have a good Memorial Day weekend.
I
All
mean-
right, and that doesn't go for just us Americans. That goes for you Europeans too. All right, because you need to respect the best country on earth.
So
Better go out and get yourself an American
the
flag.
chat was hilarious during that as well. So that was RDT's Apple Juice Minute. That was quite an interesting, inventive one. That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm normally outgunned when it comes to, obviously there's 2 American co-hosts. We've also had an American guest as well, so it was at least 75-25 this week. At least our first 2 guests that we had were both British, so that we evened it out. But after that, and also all 3 of you being here, like I feel just a total minority at this point.
Inferior. Yeah, because you're inferior. You come from an
Just want you to
inferior
know.
place. It's simply a fact.
Jesus.
When I go back to work on Tuesday, I'm showing all my coworkers that. I have to, bare minimum.
Absolutely.
This is Memorial Day right here.
Can I? I'm just.
We stand in formation, like we're in a long formation for hours.
Yeah.
And all this other jazz. So
You know what? That's right. That's the one thing I didn't mention in our intro, and it's incredibly disrespectful. You were a member of the U.S. Air Force. Thank you for your service.
Oh, well, thank you.
I didn't actually know that.
And have yourself a good Memorial Day. I can't
good
believe
job.
I botched the whole intro. By the way, I stumbled over my words. For some reason. I apologize for that. Now
It makes even more sense now that you're going to show them this clip. That patriotism's gonna run through.
Yeah.
Good
God,
stuff.
That's so
Good
awesome.
stuff.
That's so awesome. That
What
was
a
perfect.
guest! What a guest! He has everything.
Yeah, wow.
Oh yeah, we also didn't mention that he visited Rockstar as well, the actual New York
we
offices.
didn't even talk about that
Rockstar. I visited the
Oh,
London
yeah.
offices. We talked
We
about
have
that.
we have done a big disservice to our guests.
We have.
this week,
We have.
I think we're gonna have to have you on again.
We gotta bring a guest on and we just yeah, this has me. Yeah, I visited the Rockstar offices in London a few weeks ago, and they're trying to get the same sort of setup as what they had in New York over there. But you've been to the main one. You've been to the New York offices. What was that like?
Yes. It is, so it's multiple floors, one. And in the Rockstar one, it's very exclusive. You can't like go around inside of it. You can pretty much just go to the like lobby area, and it is just all games. It's just arcade game after arcade game after arcade game, and they have it all set up, and it's amazing.
Are there
Then,
bean bags
since-
anywhere? Crucial question.
No,
Is this a bean,
not that I
is this a
saw.
beanbag?
Actually,
No bean bags. Okay,
I don't think I saw any. There might be some, in the back somewhere.
Okay.
I didn't see any in like the lobby area. But when you go up to the actual streaming area, since Rockstar is owned by Take-Two, that you can kind of explore a little bit more. And that has like all of the games that Take-Two has made,
Wow.
including the Rockstar titles. And then they have the streaming area, which is like a bunch of posters of the game behind us. And those guys, despite the knowledge of which racing car should go in which category, those guys are actually some of the coolest people I've hung out with. I mean, you think about it, you work with video games and idiots all day complaining about video games, and then idiots who sit next to you, like you just end up having an amazing outlook on video games and life.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of the same
awesome.
experience I had with the guys in the London offices as well. They are very, very nice people, and they're not the kind of people who
Yeah.
make the decisions that we would complain about anyway.
Yeah, we
So,
talked about that.
Right.
They're all
During the show.
very, very. If anybody hasn't seen that episode of the podcast, we went in depth about that. That's episode 4. For anybody who's wants to go back and watch it, but yeah, they are very, very nice people and just cool. Just chill.
Yeah.
It seems like it's such a nice place to have a job. One of those offices.
I keep telling them to hire me.
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, you guys got openings?
It's not bad to let people know what you want, Even
That's
if it
true.
isn't
That's
just.
true. And yeah, and then here's me saying, "Oh, I need to be the one who oversees all the car development, and I'll get stuck up at Rockstar North, where they're all horrible with the devs and all this kind of stuff. I'll end up in the worst place."
Not a bean bag in sight.
None of being back in.
Single bean.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nas.
The bean bags are the cornerstone of a modern workplace. All right, if you did not know this. Okay,
Yeah.
a modern
Oh,
tech
yeah.
workplace. If you do not have bean bags, you are living in the 20th century.
Okay,
All right,
fair enough.
that's just how it is.
Fair enough,
if
fair
you didn't
enough.
know this.
Well, we've at least we've gotten to Bo later on in the podcast. and actually
I'll
talked
take it.
about him
I'll
and
take it.
explained what he. You know, I didn't even know about all that stuff. Who was in the Air Force or anything. I should have done my research as well.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I can't believe I've.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do any research, because you were meant to do the intro, and you messed it all up.
And that Choking Hazard podcast choke of the week goes to me.
Yeah, you've choked it this time.
For
See,
botching the
it's a lot more
intro. I
difficult
botched
than you
the
think.
intro. I'm sorry.
I literally
Yeah,
asked
see?
you. I was like, "What should I know about this gentleman?" And you're like, whatever." He
Yeah,
plays
look,
the
and I
Summit."
had it kind of prepared in my head, and then it just all went bad, and everything was terrible. Look, being on radio, not the easiest thing. Okay, sometimes you do choke.
Listen, though, I mean, we are the Choking Hazard podcast. I think people are aware. 6 episodes in at this point, we are always.
I forgot to tell Blade to do it. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. You forgot to tell Blitz to. You tried to do it yourself, and it all went to hell. But people should expect issues every single week, because that's just that's what we do. All right, let's get to the questions. Let's do it. Let's.
All right, moving into our question answer portion of the show. MB Hammer, who is our first caller?
First caller, we've got it's Fuzzy.
Hello, caller. You're on the Choking Hazard podcast. You're looking a little blue today. What's your question?
Brilliant. That's the only thing I was here for.
Who's your question for? What's your question?
Well, everyone and chat, I suppose. They can have
No,
a
don't
say.
involve chat.
No?
They're not a part
Okay,
of this.
well, no, chat, you're out. My question is, would you have liked it if Rockstar would have allowed support for racing wheels in GTA by default, such as, I don't know, G27 or something?
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. Sure.
It doesn't really affect me.
What kind of? I mean, why would you? Who would answer no to that? I mean, sure.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Look, I'm a PC gamer. All right, I want to be able to use a flight stick. All right, or
Who would
an
answer, what a
N64
stupid
game.
question. Who would answer no to that?
What the
Jesus.
hell are you talking about?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, could you think about it, the whole flick sticking idea? Could you imagine flick sticking with
Yeah, to be
your
fair.
arms? Like, you would be so buff, or at least tone as hell, like trying to flick stick with the. So I don't know about an actual wheel.
Based on the physics, there's no way it would work.
Yeah,
properly.
okay,
It's
then-
either
yeah,
on
then
or off
maybe.
with the steering, I guess. But
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I haven't thought this through.
It would have to be, the physics would have to be built from the ground up, maybe for the next GTA, and it's actually more realistic in that respect that a racing wheel would work. But then you'd have to think, would you want to go into first person? And I think it takes away a little bit from the arcadey. Like, the benefit
you
of
can't
GTA,
go into first person.
the benefit of
either
GTA
without
is the fact that it
errors.
has a bit of arcadiness to it, in addition to having a bit of skill level required. I think if you had the physics that were needed to make a racing wheel work effectively, then you would take away from some of that accessibility that GTA has from just people using a controller or whatever. So I don't know. I'm torn on it.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Now that I've thought it through, I think I'm
Could you
there.
imagine the visuals on a stream using a wheel with the flick stick aspect?
The wheel just.
Is he dancing? What is this? What's he doing?
Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, interesting, because I never thought about that actually. I hadn't thought about that in depth. That was just my initial impressions. But I thought that was an interesting question, regardless of what Nos said.
It turned down to when I thought about it. Now it's an interesting question.
Yeah, when you let the question sink in instead of attacking the man.
Look, sorry, I'm a bit hostile. I apologize.
Well,
Look, you never know what's going to happen. You come into the phone bank, you come on the show, you don't know what's going to happen.
I was going to say, I used a wheel in PC single player quite a bit, so I have experience with it. But it's not sort of like I'll describe it, a one-to-one ratio. For example, if you want to turn the wheel, I don't know, 15 degrees in game, you need to turn the wheel at least double that physically. So it's not that one-to-one action.
And that's a turn. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see for the real professional racing that we all focus on here, it wouldn't be so good. But for casual playing of the game, it's alright.
Yeah, maybe if they did official support for it, for maybe like to put into single player, and you can use it if you want to. It's not going to be the best way to race, but if they actually added official support for it rather than just needing the use of mods to do that. But again, whether they could do that with the physics, I don't know. But
Will it
I
have
mean,
a
I
gun
don't see
for
why.
driving
I don't see
by?
why.
You're just driving along, and then you get like a controller.
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Okay, good question, Fozzie. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Now that I think about it. Thank you for your question.
Save yourself.
All right, who's next?
Who's our next
All
caller?
right, next up we've got Mr. QuickNet Tech.
Ruff, you get to take this one.
You can't throw me in like that.
Yes, I can.
Welcome to the Choking Hazard podcast. What is your question and who's it for? That's it. That's as much as I'm going for. I'm not having anything
That's
special.
fine.
As long as I didn't choke, that was fine.
There you go. You're fine. All right. Who's your question for? What's your question?
This would be for, I guess, Bruffy and 1322/Nodo in general. It would be, would you consider doing a multi-class race with a Turismo Classic, Infernus Classic, GP1, and Penetrator? So, say, like a 90 supercars.
Yeah, sure. We'd need trainers to work online, and we can only do it on PC. But yeah, I mean,
I was thinking, you run a 5M server. So
yeah, we could do it on the
I'm thinking
5M server
like
too, as well. So,
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Sounds like a very interesting race. But
are they on pace with each other?
I was looking at the lap times, and they all seem to be right about 102 to, I think it was 108. I think was the.
So no.
Let's see, Infernus Classics was 106.
Yeah, I have the feeling
Turismo
Infernus
was
Classic would be the
104.
worst.
that would be
Turismo-
GT3, I would imagine. Like
Yeah, and then the Penetrator was
G,
let me see,
GP1.
102.
Yeah. Then like
GP1
104.
was a 103.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, the
why,
GP1.
Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
what's the deal with the trainer on PC? Is it still working?
It's currently detectable.
Right.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
So.
So none of these PC special events anymore for.
Yeah, or at least the one that we mainly use. I think there's some main like griefing menus that are working right now, but not the one that we use that has car customization, everything like that. So.
I mean, I'm
those are
all
quite
up for these sort of different events. Some of the better events that we've done in the past have been from, the most recent one was the 3 Coquettes and 3 different classes that you could never race together, all together in a race. But actually, it was great. It was a great race. And Bo's had an example of doing that as well with the snow event and vehicles.
Man, that one's a real privilege.
That was a lot of fun. So I think
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm always up for doing those special types of things, and the one that I want to do the most is the sort of the muscle car version, the proper muscle cars of, say, like a Dominator, a Drift Tamper, and the what else was it? Was it the Buffalo? Bullet, yeah, it was a Bullet, yeah. Those are the 3.
Yes.
A supercar, that's a muscle supercar, a muscle sports car, and a muscle car. All about on the same pace, just one big race. But there's so many different options with that. And again, if Rockstar would just give us an option for an open class where we could choose any vehicle, it would be great to
then
do
all
more
of our
of that
problems
sort
would
of
be
stuff.
solved.
Yeah, there's so many things you could do. And again, it comes back to people being able to do events, and the creativity of the people creating the event should be the only thing that is limiting, rather than the class system in particular. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
the biggest problem is-
sorry.
Go on,
ahead.
Bob.
with putting multiple classes in, no one, or not no one, but you guys would use it properly, right? But the guy trying to just spam races or something like that would just he would just pick the fastest car or whatever in the game.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, but even at that higher level, you have some interesting things going on with the with choosing your vehicle. Like, you could go for the fastest supercar in the game, which would be RE7B, or you could go for a motorcycle, but the motorcycle has risks involved. You could fall off of it. So, I mean, there'd be an interesting little balance, even at the top, with just morons doing things. So, it kind of works for everybody.
Yeah, I guess, when it comes to an open class, people who are just racing randomly, there's no difference between an open class or a motorcycle race. If people actually know what they're doing and choose motorcycles because they are the quickest. But I think there's nothing necessarily lost from adding an open class It allows
Yeah.
it allows people to have that variety if they want to choose different things in random races. It allows us to create different events with different classes of vehicles, and there's not really any change to the people who are racing in random races because they just carry on doing what they're doing anyway and choosing the same supers and sports class races regardless. So probably doesn't make that much difference to them. And I guess it would open up quite a few interesting things where you could join random lobbies in low down cars, a coupe or a muscle car, and beat people who don't know how to race in supercars. That would be quite fun. That would be possible.
They're picking a car just because it looks cool.
Yeah, like choosing a blister compact and all these people in RE7Bs and Tempestas in these random races who can't race. They go all knock each other off, and you just win in a blister compact or something. That would be fun. Good question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the first one I'd ever seen for that was the police cruiser one, which was enjoy.
Yeah, that was a good one. I had a horrible race, but it was a good event. Cheers, man. Good question.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
All right, so who's our next caller in Hammer?
So guys, we've got a write-in question. Normally, I wouldn't allow it.
We checked the mailbox for once. We should do that like 2 weeks ago.
We've checked the mailbox. Unfortunately, one of our regulars has a bit of a sore throat at the moment, so I'm going to ask it on their behalf. It's from regular Sherritt18.
All right. Did he put anything in the envelope? Did he send like some money or something in the envelope?
He didn't.
Just a question.
I've told you before about bribes. It's not allowed. All right.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
anyway,
he
what's the
asks, if you imagine a world where Bruffy never did testing, I know it's sacrilege, but imagine a world where Bruffy never did any testing. Who do you guys think out of the racing community would be the person responsible for the testing?
You didn't let him finish the question.
Who do you think would be responsible for doing the testing videos, and why do you think it would be that person?
See, I answered the question correctly. It would have been Shaggy, I think. Or did he? Well, did he get into GTA racing because of you, Bruff?
He did.
I need more background. Would Bruff have just not done testing, or would he have not done racing at all?
Maybe if I didn't exist.
Okay, so if you didn't exist, I don't think this community would exist then.
Imagine if Bruffy didn't exist.
Personally, I think that like you've seen kind of the outsiders maybe that have built Monaco Grand Prix, and it's just a garbage track. You know, you've seen these tracks, like that are outside the racing community, but maybe they're into motorsport. That would be the extent of the racing community without you, and it wouldn't be a thing without you. So I don't think that.
Do you think we'd still have the straight line drag testings and all that kind of stuff, not the proper racing testing?
Yeah, we still have that now.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You have to. I mean, there's a lot of names that are getting put in the chat of people who got into GTA racing because of what I was doing as well.
Yeah, but if he didn't, there's also a lot of then they wouldn't.
And there's a lot of people who are good at GTA racing. And the top level, but would they haven't currently, and maybe they wouldn't have the motivation to actually make a testing series about it in that respect. So I suppose, I
think what we're saying is, Bruffy, you're our only hope.
And a lot of people, people have started doing testing now, but would they have done that testing if there wasn't the base community there originally? Would they have just started doing like I did? Possibly not.
If Bruffy's not around, Summit doesn't find Bruffy, Summit doesn't find me.
Yeah.
You and me.
Oh my God, Bowski wouldn't have been born. Oh no. Is that the timelines?
We've got to go back to the future.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's an interesting writing question, and we didn't even answer him, but there is no answer because we cannot answer the question.
Yeah.
Because
Wasn't there
everyone that is
knockoff
involved
Bruffy
is involved because of him.
Wasn't there some knockoff Bruffy somewhere? There's many.
I'd consider myself a knockoff Bruffy. So
I'm gonna start watching his YouTube videos and doing the same thing and reposting them. You're up, Buffy. You're up.
The thing is, that it's happened before that people have done car testing, and I think Shaggy did some car testing and Picano did some car testing, but they never do it to the extent that I do it. They'll do sports and supers, for example, and then lose interest. So it's not just about being able to test or having the interest to be able to take it around the track and do it. It's having the because there's so many cars in the game. It's having the sheer want and need in yourself to actually go through all these cars and test them all and make videos about them all. And I think that's where people might that's where it might suffer. People might do a little bit of testing here and there for some cars, but there wouldn't have been a complete works as much. Maybe there would have been, and maybe someone else would have taken up the mantle. I don't know. We'll see. But
they have to be good at racing too, though.
We'll see. Actually, we won't see.
No, but I mean, yeah, they have to be good. There's a lot of things that you've got to fulfill. I guess you've got to have the scientific mind of the testing stuff and be able to conduct testing properly. You got to be good at racing, at least to a decent level. You've got to have the ability to make the videos and make those interesting, and then have the need to put them all down and go through everything. So are you laughing at Mr. MM's comment?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you were. So yeah, I don't know, maybe someone would have, but I guess we'll never know.
It only goes this high. Whoever fire call, come on. Can't draw anyway,
I gotta say, I do feel proud.
This
episode in particular has made me feel very proud about what I've done. What we've built up that's come from nothing.
Yeah, it's just been 1.5 hours of us just jerking you off, basically.
Yeah, pretty basically.
I mean, all of the podcasts usually boil down to that to some degree.
Well, last week's wasn't. Last week's was a completely the opposite of how everyone hates me. So it's nice to have the opposite side of that.
That's right. So
yeah, good question. Okay, who's next?
Hey, good question. Next question.
Let's go. Let's move on.
We're going to get away from the racing side of things a little bit, but Soriano has a question for us.
Hello, caller. You're on the Choking Hazard podcast. Who's your question for, and what is your question?
Hey guys, it's for everybody. Also, greetings from Arkansas, by the way.
Oh, my man!
Hello.
God bless America. How are you spending your? I got a question for you. How are you spending your Memorial Day weekend?
Passed out somewhere.
Yeah, with boys.
The best way to do it. What's your question?
All right. So, what do you guys think we lost out on, or what could have been added to GTA Online if we had had wildlife, like we did in single player and in Red Dead Online, stuff like that?
Some hilarious chokes.
Jesus, you're not kidding.
Just deer in the road.
Yeah.
Just a rabbit
getting murdered by wildcats and whatnot. God. G-Fred would be way different.
G-Fred.
Oh my god.
Yeah, imagine you could actually, there was horses and you could ride them and stuff.
Mount a horse.
Yeah.
That's your G-Fred vehicle.
I'm just imagining a shark.
Yeah, murder cats everywhere.
Yeah.
You gotta look out for murder cats.
I bet you would have a group of people who would go out and hunt. That would happen. You would get groups
that's
of
where
people
I would
together.
have went instead of racing.
Yeah, that's what you would have done instead.
Just homing missiles on a black bear. Just
sitting in the forest.
What was the extent of how much we all played single player?
I 100%
all the way.
completed
Twice,
it
I think.
Yeah. What about you, Bo?
I'm working on my second time for like story mode Mondays, which I'll probably never finish. I'm a terrible person at finishing a game.
Yeah.
Or even like a single player to me is the past. I can't go back to it anymore.
It is difficult.
So it's rough. Yeah. In the GTA 5 story to me, I like the whole 3 aspects of it, but I just can't go back.
Yeah.
I just can't do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I tried too multiple times.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to have wildlife in. It would be fun to have a lot of the
well,
things that
5M
single player
has it.
has.
That was a recent note. What's the 5M? Everything works fine.
Really?
The animals don't cause a bit of problem. Yeah. They updated 5M recently, and there's wildlife now. So I don't see why GTA Online can't do it, but they can't. So
I mean, weren't we all supposed to get our own pets? Like, wasn't that something that we were supposed to do?
Please don't do that.
Can I buy like hats for my cat or something?
And then someone just throws a Molotov at it.
So basically, what we're saying is, for the next iteration of GTA Online, we want a second life within GTA. We don't have to have our own life. We want to be able to have pets. We want all these added features of real life stuff. Just put that in GTA. And
I want to have a hunger meter. I don't have a hunger meter. I will not buy the game.
I was going to say, just play The Sims at this point.
I know, yes. GTA, yeah, it's difficult. GTA is becoming something bigger than what it was ever intending to be.
Yeah. Have you guys heard what Rockstar's take is on like the 5M thing?
I saw the post that they put up as the support forum
You'll
post,
get
but
banned.
was there something else?
Watch out. Any moment,
Yeah.
anytime, anywhere, you could get banned. I don't know.
You could potentially get banned. So like the developer initially, it didn't require like a Steam login or anything like that, so it promoted pirated games. So he's getting sued or something crazy. But when I
Yeah,
went
but now
there,
it does. You have to have a legal copy of the game to play it, which is how it should be.
exactly. That was one of the things they implemented after that whole issue happened. When I talked to them about it, they said they can't touch it whatsoever. And there were
Really? You talked to them and they gave you an answer about it?
Yeah, well, when I was there, I asked them about it, and they said they will probably never do anything in that form.
Oh wow, go wild.
Well, I mean, the best thing that they could do is do nothing. Because it's promoting the game anyway. People are buying the game just because they want to go meet Sheriff Eli and get, sent to the booty house. So
I think I honestly think that the way that the fact that as long as it requires a legal game, like you say, there's nothing that they can do because they're just modding a game, and as long as you have to buy the game, then fine, fair enough. And there's nothing that they would want to do. Like you said, it's so much. GTA is just blown up again for a second time with the RP stuff.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right. I think we're getting a little off topic though. So thank you for your question, Soriano.
Animals get sent to the booty house. We're talking about. What are you talking about now?
We would have missed out on some pretty fantastic chokes in races. You got a little deer coming across the track.
You got to prop that deer.
A deer in the snow. Oh man.
Ooh.
Oh man. Anyway, thanks for your question, Soriano.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Any
more? Can I just say that he sounded like Jesus?
We did have more questions.
Before we switch off.
Let's take one more. How about that, MB Hammer?
That's
Who's going to be our next
We've
question?
only got one more.
Well, good. Thanks,
Mr. Ace Revolutions.
I got embarrassed with myself.
Whoa!
Jesus!
We need to have everyone. We need to have everyone force muted before we bring them in. By the way,
You spooked me.
What are you doing? Anyway,
come on. What's your question?
Welcome to the Choking Hazard podcast. What's your question? Who's it for?
What kind of backlog do you guys have? I mean,
what?
Like as a video game backlog.
Like games
what's our
we've
history?
been needing to play, but we haven't.
Yeah, like.
Oh no! What do we want to play? Shit.
Yeah.
I have a huge backlog of games.
Yeah,
Shameless plug for Persona 5.
No.
I've got so many Telltale games. I'm obviously doing Wolf Among Us on Fridays now, an episode of that after each one of these podcasts. I've got... There's so many on my Steam. This is the thing. I've got a Steam list of games that I want to play, and I just never get around to doing them. There's not enough time.
Not enough time.
What about you guys?
Well, in terms of streamer things, I need to get back to Devil May Cry. I've been doing a late night playthrough of that, and I've stopped doing it because I'm lazy. Here, I'll take a look at my Steam.
Mass Effect Andromeda and Gears of War 4. Those are two big ones that I haven't finished the campaigns for. It's similar with what Bo was saying earlier. It's like single player games. I love the episodic ones that are very short, and I do them in a stream. But trying to actually go back to a long playthrough, I'm finding it a lot more difficult since I've begun playing mostly online. It's difficult.
And I want to go back and play New Vegas again. I want to go back and play Fallout 4 again. But just the work alone, getting that thing modded up to where I want it is, 20 hours. And then
that reminds me. There's New Vegas multiplayer that's been released. Well, not released, but
that sounds like the most buggy thing I could ever experience in life. So I'll pass on that one. Yeah, there are too many games. There are way too many games to play, both on and off stream, and I don't have time for any. and there's games coming out that I want to play as well. So
Yeah, that's
like,
it. Too many games in general. What about you, RDT?
RDT, how about you? I mean, you're on the Xbox One, so finding a game on the Xbox One is definitely a challenge. But do you have any that you haven't played out of the 5 you have to choose from?
Oh my god.
Well, like Soriano said, I do really like Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 3 is one of the games that I want to play. The only Fallout that I ever played was 4, which I know that's probably really bad.
That's a disservice. You need to
and I want to go back and play those. And then the only Elder Scrolls game I ever played was Skyrim, so I kind of want to go back and play those too.
You're okay there, I think.
Yeah, at least the old Fallout games are backwards compatible.
Yeah, true. I know Fallout 3 is. I guess New Vegas and all those are too.
New Vegas is as well.
What about you, Bo?
Yeah, I'll get get up on those. But I just come across games. I'm like, that looks like something I want to play someday. I don't know. I don't really have a set list.
Bo?
Kingdom Hearts plug.
Oh,
why are you plugging?
I need to go back and play that too.
Just
get out of here! Get out of here!
No.
Shut up! We're trying to answer your question, and you keep butting in. We should just force mute people after they've answered their questions.
Man, I didn't have to be mean to the call in this time.
Come on, Bo. What's your back catalog? Have you got any that you want to play?
I have a retarded list. Like there's just so many games in my Steam.
I don't think you can use that word anymore, by the way. It's a PC show.
Oh, okay.
He's not using it to disparage the differently abled Nas.
I like RDT. Thank you. But my list of games is actually ridiculous, and I'd probably play 5 of them.
Yeah,
it's mind blowing to me because there's so many different games to play, but there's so little time.
Yeah,
you know.
It's unbelievable.
You know, Bruff, like what are the viewers actually going to enjoy you playing? Because I'll play Star Wars.
Working it into a stream is another thing.
Yeah,
as well.
That's it.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't have any free time to play games. So the games that I do play come from streaming, and obviously 2 streams a week. That's GTA. Only leaves the last half of the Friday stream, and the kind of games that suit that the best are these episodic Telltale style games, Life is Strange, that kind of stuff. So when it comes to the big playthroughs, I'm just not having the time to play them. It's
BioShock, like that one. Remember when you gave up on BioShock?
I haven't given up yet. I haven't. It's still there. I'm still planning to go back to it.
The worst, Bruffy, have people bought you games that they want you to play, and you haven't played them yet?
Yes, I feel so guilty.
Yeah.
I have played all of the games that people have bought from me. I do not share in this. But then again, I haven't had many games bought for me, so it's pretty easy.
But yeah, I know exactly what you mean with that. It's tricky.
You're sitting there, you like fire up your Steam, you're like getting ready to go live, and you're like, oh, there's that game again. Like it's like blinking red.
My Summer Car. Yes, My Summer Car. Go play it, bruh. You need to play My Summer Car.
Again, another one that somebody else got.
I will help you build that car. All right, I'm a Satsuma expert. All right,
please.
We've got to play My Summer Car.
Bruffy, don't do it. Don't do it, Bruffy.
I know what you mean, though. I absolutely know what you mean with that. Like, you see it in your Steam list every now and then, and it's just like it shouts at you without doing anything. Guilt, play me. Someone paid money for this and gave you it. You haven't played me yet, you scum. Yeah.
Exactly. Man.
So yeah, lots of games is the answer to that one. Too many games. Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
Ace.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you, Ace.
Let's that should be about it. That's all the questions.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Would you look at that? We did another podcast.
If I wanted to be a phone bank caller, is that an option or?
What you mean if you wanted to call in?
Like in future shows?
I want to ask you guys a question right now.
Oh, all right, okay, yeah. Bonus guest question. You're a guest. You can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna start breaking stuff and start a riot.
Yeah, okay. Let's take that back immediately.
Real quick, just with obviously Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna happen. Right.
Yeah, has to.
And like we said, they accidentally created one of the best racing games. Where do you guys where do you guys want to see it go in 6? In Grand Theft Auto 6, where do you want to see the racing, the cars, the curb boosting, the short shifting, the damage to the vehicles? Because obviously in 5M, you can hit a pole and your car won't work. Like, where do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
I think the physics engine should be completely rebuilt, so curb boosting isn't a thing, short shifting isn't a thing.
Yes.
All these little tricks aren't a thing. It can still be accessible, like in terms of the way that it is. It's quite easy to drive. So I don't mind the physics of GTA 5 as it is now. But I would take out all the little exploits to that, and basically for me more of the same. So I would have every single car have the same level of customization as Benny's vehicles, with racing modifications and all this kind of stuff. I would take out performance modifications. I would just have all cars, whether stock or customized,
Really?
be the same performance. I think that's a terrible strategy. I think everybody should have the same car performance if they choose that car, and any customization that goes from that is only visual rather than performance. Because
I think that's great.
I don't know if I subscribe to that.
I don't like that at all.
Or at least be able to tune cars up to a certain ability, like.
I think it's stupid that you have to pay money to get your car to be on the same level as just the exact same car in a stock form. I think it should all be customized, visual only, personally. But
that sounds like something more like that. Sounds like sim related. That's going back to like Sims and having everyone must be on the same level by default. I don't know. Car customization is a big deal for me, even performance-wise. If they expanded the performance, and I don't know.
Well, yeah,
like
it could go two ways. They can either expand it or
sure.
bring it back to everything being stock. Well, either one of the two. But what they have now is terrible, I think. You just bang on the maximum transmission and engine, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. There's no downside to anything.
I would have
like
more
if you
of
have
the
a
same.
bigger spoiler, it should be more downforce, detriment to top speed.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's give and take for the performance.
But then again, I agree with what Bloody Squirrels just said in the chat. These Sims have too much tweaking, and I'm not sure how GTA would benefit from that kind of level of tweaking. I think it's better to keep it simple, to be honest. Which is why I wouldn't change the performance originally.
Well, like I said, that's why you keep it simple. Like this gives you more top speed but less acceleration. It gives you more acceleration, less top speed. Like, and it's very basic give and take, kind of like that. So like bulletproof tires have less traction, something like that. Like somewhere in between, I think would be a good spot in terms of customization. But I don't agree with it all being stock. That sounds
okay.
I don't know.
But I generally more of the same, I think, as a general answer to that. Better physics.
I would want
more of the same.
I would want access to developer creation tools right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So that we can delete polls and whatnot, just for creations, obviously not for.
Yeah, make our own missions as well, stuff like that.
Custom lobbies, turn off cops, stuff like that.
Oh God, yes, the lobby system could be better. Bo subscribed.
Yeah. Multiple locations,
GG.
Like
thank you for the subscription. I can actually thank you in person. I can thank a subscriber in person.
Yeah. A subscriber, unbelievable.
So the first time you've actually talked about a subscriber when it happened on the podcast.
Thank you.
Everyone else.
Sub hype. Good stuff. Any more? Or should we put the question back to Bo? What would you like?
Yeah. Oh, turn it around.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I'm gonna flip it on you.
I haven't gotten that far. Like, I got as far as asking the question.
Oh, okay.
As far as like most people realize that story mode is almost irrelevant now that multiplayer is so big.
I think it's irrelevant because the GTA 5 single player wasn't particularly that great.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's why it's irrelevant. But anyway, continue on.
Yeah. But just more of maybe Franklin can interact, or whoever the next character is can interact with the multiplayer, like you can actually do missions with those people, you know. Like I know they give you calls or whatever. Hey, I'm Simeon. Come pick up this car, yeah, you know. But just more to where single player. That way it can kind of pull us multiplayer guys into the single player a little bit more. So like at a certain level, in single player, you can do this in multiplayer. You know, just little hidden things, or maybe things that aren't hidden, but as long as as far as like the racing physics of it all, I kind of want the cars to like in that Forza crash of the choke of the week. Like if you do that, you know, you do have a choke like that, because I flipped my SUV in the snow race in and Nas said, "Bo, do you need an ambulance?" Maybe something along those lines. Like in single player, if you crash, you fly out of the windshield. I don't know why he's not wearing a seatbelt, but maybe give that option.
Characters, luckily wear their seatbelts in GTA Online.
Exactly, stuff like that. So I want something, you know, just more in depth.
Yeah,
you know,
more involved.
More. Yeah, you know, I crashed my car one time. I maybe have to take a pit, and that makes like if you guys do these long races, the pit lanes, the actual pits, they seem more imperative.
Yeah.
And people may have to take 6 compared to just the standard 3 that you all take. So something along those lines.
Speaking on that, how about some fuel? You guys like fuel?
Ooh, fuel, bam, yeah. Because I know I get fuel frequently, and it is expensive.
Yeah. God.
We have fuel in the game. I know our 5M server will have that. That should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Really good.
I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Bo, thank you so much for coming on as a guest. You have been a brilliant guest. Hopefully, we've done you a good service.
Everybody spam the guest chat. All of Bo's information is there. Follow him at those places.
Yeah, tell us where you can find you. Tell us where we can find you.
Twitch.com/BowskiJ, BOWSKIJ, or if you want to make fun of me, BowskiJ, all one word. Twitter, the same thing, BowskiJ. So, and that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. But I want to say thanks for inviting me, because I love Bruffy and Nas.
Oh no! Come on, we've already spent an hour and a half jerking this guy off. Can we move on? He's not that important.
So I want to say thanks.
Well, thanks for having us.
Great meeting you, man.
Yeah, great to have you on. Some good insight and some good questions as well. Thank you, man, for coming on.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
And yeah, that'll be it until next week, when we will do this all over again. Do you all want to say goodbye?
Another week, another mistake. Just
yeah, as always. For anyone watching this on YouTube or listening to it, all the information is in the show notes if you're listening to it, or in the description. Submit your chokes of the week, timestamps, all that kind of stuff. It's always down there, and you can watch all the previous episodes as well in the playlist. But yeah, that'll about wrap it up for this one. You want to say goodbye, guys?
All right, goodbye.
Thanks so much for watching.
And goodbye from Ulysses Northcutt.
Yeah, have yourself a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Let me tell you, it's gonna be great. Oh boy.
See you later, guys.